All right. Hey, I'm RaJan, R-A to the cap J. Guess what? We're going to talk about slavery. Ooh, slavery. Probably not the slavery that you're thinking of, though. Basically, we are all slaves to something or to someone. Okay, so there are masters and there are slaves. And guess what? We're a slave sometimes to our very own thoughts in our minds. We are slaves to sometimes the positions we put ourselves in at work. We are slaves sometimes to the actions that we take when we are feeling discomfort. Like, you have to be a master over those things. But this is the thing, you can't be a slave to two masters. You can't. That's what the word of God says. The word of God says you can't be a servant to two masters. You're either going to love one, hate the other, be devoted to one, or despise the other. And guess what? That's in every facet of our life. Like, every part of our life. It touches our finances. It touches our mental and our spiritual health. It touches our physical health. It touches the relationships that we are in. It touches even the goals and the dreams that we are striving for. Those things that we want to reach out for and touch. Those things that we see ourselves doing in the future. They're affected by this master-slave idea. And so one thing that I heard over the weekend that was amazing is that when it comes to freedom, right? When it comes to freedom, we don't lose our chains, but instead we get to choose our chains. All right, freedom is not losing our chains. It's not saying, hey, I'm not a slave to anything, that's why I'm truly free. No. In fact, it is choosing our chains, because you're going to be a slave to something. When you get that all-time low and you hit that and it is dark and it's deep and you don't know where to turn, whatever you do turn to, or whoever you do turn to, that is what you are a slave to. Now, some things are good to be slaves to, like God. God is a good master in my life. I can tell you a testimony about that myself personally. But there are some things that we let be our masters in those moments that are not good for us. Sometimes we let social media master us, and it puts in those bad ideas or those negative comments in our lives that we shouldn't have there, because we're sitting there comparing ourselves to highlights instead of real life. Sometimes we are masters to vices, like it may be drinking, it may be smoking, it may be drug use, it may be something that is on a TV screen, it may be something that is on a laptop screen. It may be something that makes you feel good in the moment, but in fact is actually taking away from precious time that you have on this earth. We are slaves to something. All I'm asking you to do is figure out what you are a slave to and make the choice. Do you want to be a slave to that or not? Because guess what? True freedom is not losing your chains. It's not saying I don't have anything that I'm chained to. It's choosing your chains. And guess what? The choice is yours.